Have you ever felt like you're working tirelessly, but success, flowing success, keeps slipping through your fingers, as if something unseen, something subtle, is quietly holding you back? The truth is, the answer might be hiding in plain sight, right within the walls of your own home. While many search for breakthroughs in their careers, in relationships, or in mindset, few pause to consider that the very space they inhabit might be the silent saboteur of their progress. What if ordinary household items, ones you pass by daily without a second thought, are actually draining your energy, distorting your focus, and quietly erecting invisible walls against abundance? Today, what you'll discover may forever shift how you see your living space, and its direct, profound connection to your success, well-being, and peace. From leaking faucets to lifeless plants, these subtle disruptors do not demand attention. They whisper, not shout, their negative influence. Yet over time, their impact can compound, slowly unraveling your progress and peace. In this transformative journey, we'll explore 10 common yet overlooked energy blockers that may be holding you back more than you ever realized. Each one is a mirror reflecting a hidden aspect of your internal world, a whisper from the unseen energies that shape your life experience. But before we begin, take a moment, breathe, set a quiet intention for abundance. Say it aloud if you like. Wealth flows to me effortlessly. Or perhaps, I am a natural magnet for good fortune. This small act of intention isn't trivial. It begins shifting your frequency, your energy, right now. And if you find value here, don't forget to subscribe and gently tap that bell icon so you never miss more wisdom and cultivating a home that nurtures success and peace. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Water leakages, the silent wealth drains. Would you believe that the gentle drip from a faucet could be quietly draining your prosperity? It may seem small, but in ancient wisdom traditions, water symbolizes wealth. It is the flow of abundance itself. When water leaks unchecked, it is believed to mirror money escaping from your life. Drop by drop, moment by moment, strong, contained water flows symbolizes financial stability, a river of life moving forward. But when it leaks, that flow fractures. Symbolically, it reflects instability, wasted potential, and uninvited financial loss. You may not notice it consciously, but the sound of dripping water, especially at night, creates subtle mental stress, a quiet irritation that lingers beneath awareness. Over time, this can lead to restlessness, a lack of focus, even fatigue, and all of it begins with a leak. The implications aren't just emotional or energetic, they're deeply practical too. Recurring financial setbacks, trouble saving, unexpected expenses that seem to come from nowhere. They may be reflected in the water that escapes your home. The solution is beautifully simple. Repair the leak immediately. Never assume a small drip is harmless. Even the tiniest leak, left unattended, can grow into both physical damage and energetic depletion. After repairs, refresh the area. Open a window. Let light in. Place a small green plant nearby to absorb moisture and introduce life. If the leak was in the kitchen, an area that represents abundance in many traditions, try placing herbs nearby. Fresh rosemary, basil, mint. Each one amplifies energy renewal. Always remember, fortune doesn't always shout as it leaves. Often, it slips away in silence, through overlooked details and unattended spaces. By honoring your home, you honor your own path to abundance and well-being. Number 2. Broken clocks, time standing still. A clock that no longer ticks is more than just a broken object. It is a silent symbol of stagnation, of life paused, of opportunities delayed. You might glance at it and think, it's just decorative, but its stillness speaks loudly. In the language of energy, clocks are sacred instruments of rhythm. They represent movement, momentum, growth. When time halts in your home, it may be halting in your life as well. You may begin to feel stuck, unable to decide, as though progress is just out of reach, and you can't explain why. The feeling of being caught in loops, of spinning in place without traction, can sometimes be traced back to something as simple as a stopped clock, hanging silently above your doorway, especially when placed in prominent areas, your living room, your workspace, or near your main entrance. A broken timepiece becomes a barrier, a silent gatekeeper preventing forward flow. In some traditions, a stopped clock is even seen as a bad omen, a harbinger of endings or suspend destiny. So what can be done? If you find a clock that no longer works, repair it or remove it. Do not allow it to linger. Its frozen hands are not benign. They freeze energy. 2. If the timepiece holds sentimental value, ensure it is always in working order. Because movement matters, the sweeping hands of a clock are like breath for a home. They circulate presence, possibility, progress. When placing clocks, be mindful. Avoid putting them directly opposite your front door, as this is believed to weaken household fortune and create energetic friction with incoming opportunities. Also avoid positioning clocks above sleeping areas. Their constant ticking can disturb rest and subtly influence mental tension over time. Instead, place clocks in active, living zones, gathering areas, workspaces, where movement is natural and welcomed. Choose round or oval minus-shaped clocks. Whenever possible, these shapes encourage continuous energy circulation. They represent completeness, softness, and the absence of sharp disruption. If you're hoping to attract more prosperity, consider a timepiece with vibrant colors that align with your personal energy or your home's directional flow. Remember, a clock does not simply tell time, it sets the tempo for your life. When time flows, so do you. Number 3. Neglected cobwebs, energy traps in disguise. They hang silently in forgotten corners, above door frames, behind curtains, in ceiling edges you rarely look up to see. Cobwebs. At first glance, they're just signs of dust, of time, of little spiders doing what they do. But in the world of energy, they are far more telling. Cobwebs are connectors, not just of dust, but of energy long expired. They trap what is stagnant. They signal what is no longer moving. And they build, silently, in the places you've stopped paying attention to. According to ancient traditions, cobwebs are manifestations of stale energy, energies that have not been cleared, processed, or released. They interrupt the flow of vitality in your space. Just like a dam blocks a river, cobwebs block the invisible current of fortune, joy, and mental clarity. Their presence can make your home feel heavy, dim, and unconsciously burdensome. Even if you don't consciously notice, your body does. You might feel inexplicably tired, low on motivation, foggy in your thoughts, disconnected, especially when cobwebs collect near energy gateways, doorways, windows, shared spaces. They become spiritual roadblocks to the new, the fresh, the life minus enhancing. The answer is simple, but powerful. Clean, consciously, regularly. Make it a mindful practice, not just to dust, but to restore the breath of your space. Inspect corners, look under tables, check behind long curtains, under chairs, and on the backs of shelves. When you clean, you are not merely removing threads. You are sweeping away the stagnant energy they contain. Enhance this ritual. Use water blessed with intention. or add essential oils to your cleaning spray. Lemongrass, citrus, peppermint, to uplift the atmosphere and awaken the dormant flow. These fresh, living scents don't just smell pleasant, they reactivate movement, they renew presence, they welcome light. Never underestimate the impact of what hides in shadows. Sometimes, it is precisely in these overlooked details that fortune becomes stuck, waiting for a moment of your attention to be set free. A clean, breathing home is not a matter of perfection. It is a foundation for possibility. Number 4. Dying plants, the living barometers. Nothing brings vitality to a living space quite like thriving, vibrant greenery. A healthy plant is more than decoration. It is a living presence, a symbol of growth, of abundance, of the natural energy that flows through life itself. But what happens when the plant begins to fade? When its leaves curl, its stems weaken, its color fades to lifeless brown. In traditional teachings, a dying or neglected plant is not just a sign of forgetfulness. It is a message, a mirror. It reflects stagnation. It whispers of suppressed energy. It tells you something here is no longer thriving. When your plants struggle, it could be an echo of challenges silently growing in your life. Perhaps financial stress, creative blocks, a sense of limitation you can't explain. The energy of your home is a garden, and the state of your plants often reveals what's happening beneath the surface. Wilting plants don't just affect the atmosphere, they influence emotion. A room with dying greenery feels tired, heavy, uninspiring. You may find yourself feeling drained, irritable, uncertain, and you won't always realize it's the environment that's quietly shaping your inner state. The answer: act immediately. If a plant is beyond revival, let it go. Keeping a dying plant for aesthetics or sentimentality does not outweigh the energetic cost of its presence. But if there's even a flicker of life left, try to restore it. Change its soil. Move it to a brighter space. Water it with care and presence. This act of nurturing becomes a symbol, a ritual of reviving what is struggling, both within and around you. Think also of placement. Position plants near windows, entryways, or the southeastern corner of your home, areas traditionally associated with prosperity and flow. Avoid placing them near trash bins, in cluttered corners, or beside bathrooms, as these spots can suffocate their energy and hinder their ability to thrive. And if plant care feels burdensome, choose resilient varieties that thrive with minimal effort. Money trees, snake plants, golden pothos. These not only survive, they attract prosperity with grace and ease. Remember, your plants are not just living things, they are energetic allies, signaling where life is blooming and where it may be fading. Number 5. Beehives near entrances, chaotic energy fields. Sometimes the signs are quite literal. A buzzing noise, unrest near your windows, a cluster of bees building quietly in the crevices of your doorway or roofline. At first, you might feel alarmed for safety, but energetically, the presence of a beehive holds a deeper message. In traditional wisdom, beehives near the home symbolize chaos, unresolved build-up, blocked pathways of fortune, especially when located near your main entrance, porch, or balcony. They disrupt what's known as the mouth of energy, the place where positive forces enter your dwelling. When this gateway is obstructed, you may find that prosperity struggles to reach you, career paths feel blocked, good news seems delayed, and emotional tension quietly builds in the air. Beehives also symbolize internal clutter, unspoken conflict, financial stress, issues left unresolved but still growing. silently and steadily. Their chaotic energy makes life feel heavier than it should be. But do not remove them hastily. Attempting to get rid of a hive yourself can stir both danger and disruption. Instead, call a professional, someone who understands the balance, not just of physical safety, but of energetic respect. Once removed, clean the area thoroughly. Spray salt water, burn gentle incense, or diffuse purifying oils, like peppermint, eucalyptus, or lemongrass. These scents clear residual energy, restoring lightness to the space. To reintroduce harmony, place a wind chime nearby, or set a small potted plant at the threshold. Wind chimes activate energy movement. Plants breathe new life into areas where heaviness once lingered. Your home is not just walls and furniture. It is a guardian of your energy. When signs appear, like a hive near your door, they are not accidents. They are invitations to restore balance, to protect your pathway, and to reclaim the calm you deserve. Number 6. Outdated calendars stuck in the past. Have you ever walked past a wall calendar and noticed the page still rests on a month long gone? Sometimes it's simple forgetfuls. Other times, it lingers quietly. But in the world of energy, an outdated calendar is far from harmless. It is a symbol of attachment to the past, of time paused, of progress delayed. Calendars are not merely paper and dates. They represent movement, transformation, and the constant unfolding of opportunity. When an expired calendar remains displayed, you may be unconsciously holding on to memories, regrets, or limitations from a former version of yourself. And in doing so, you create resistance to the new, resistance to blessings that are ready to arrive, if only there were space. Outdated calendars are known to disrupt the energy flow of a home. They create loops, keeping you revisiting what was, instead of stepping fully into what could be. You might find yourself repeating patterns, struggling with change, or missing new openings, without understanding why. The solution is gentle, but powerful. Remove the outdated calendar immediately. Don't brush it off as trivial. Each calendar page represents a moment in time, and your awareness of it shapes your now. By replacing an expired calendar, you affirm your readiness. You acknowledge the past and open your heart to what's next. And don't stop at replacement. Choose a new calendar that inspires you. Select images that reflect growth, like rising suns, blooming flowers, lush landscapes. These visuals carry energy. They shape the mood of your space. Also, be intentional about placement. Avoid putting calendars in low-minus energy zones, like bathrooms, dusty corners, or storage spaces. These areas can trap their influence and slow your momentum. Instead, place them in bright, active locations. Home offices, kitchens, or entryways. Somewhere you'll see them often and feel their forward-minus moving presence. Let your calendar serve as a gentle reminder. Time moves forward, so do you. Number 7. Sharp-minus-edge decorations cutting through your success. You walk into a room. The decor is elegant, minimalist, even beautiful, but something doesn't feel quite right. Your eyes scan the space and land on sharp corners, metallic sculptures, mounted antlers, ornamental swords, or geometrical shelves with jagged lines slicing through the air. You may not realize it, but your energy has already reacted. In traditional energy practices, angular or pointed objects emit wits known as cutting kai. They send out invisible arrows, blades of tension, into your space. This doesn't mean sharp decorations are evil, but when placed carelessly, they disrupt peace, they fragment energy, and they can slowly fray your mental and emotional balance. Have you ever felt on edge without knowing why? Perhaps you couldn't focus or felt irritable at home for no clear reason. Sometimes, cause is hidden in the shape of what surrounds you. These pointed elements become especially disruptive when they face critical areas: your bed, your desk, your main entrance. They act like energetic daggers, piercing through calm, cutting through clarity, and the effects may ripple into your life in subtle but profound ways. Sleep disturbances, headaches, fatigue, restlessness, even arguments that seem to come out of nowhere. If your home feels like it holds tension, start by looking at the forms within it. To restore balance, scan your space. Identify sharp minus-edged items. If possible, relocate them or soften their presence. Surround them with gentle textures, potted plants, glowing fabrics, rounded ornaments. Balance is key. If you must keep a sharp piece due to sentiment or design, avoid placing it directly across from your door or bed. Instead, place it where its energy won't confront you daily, perhaps on a side wall, or offset with circular elements that diffuse its edge. And remember, you can beautify a space without sacrificing serenity. Rounded mirrors, artwork of gentle landscapes, or symbols of harmony can replace the intensity of angles with the comfort of flow, because your home should not feel like a battlefield of form, but a sanctuary where your spirit can breathe freely. Number 8. Unsettling figurines, the watchful eyes. Have you ever felt watched, as if an object in your home follows you quietly, with unblinking eyes? This is not mere imagination. In ancient wisdom, figurines, statues, or artworks that possess intense gazes or hollow, unsettling eyes carry energy, and sometimes that energy is not aligned with peace. Every object holds vibration, but objects with eyes, especially ones that feel cold, empty, or overly intense, are believed to create emotional disturbance. They may not physically move, but energetically, they create presence, an invisible stare, a lingering weight in the room. These effects are especially profound when such figures are placed in areas meant for rest, like bedrooms, children's rooms, or meditation spaces. These are sacred zones, places for calm, renewal, sleep. When unsettling figures dominate these spaces, they can disrupt sleep patterns, trigger anxious thoughts, or create a subtle unease that is hard to shake. Traditionally, the eyes of a statue are seen as a spiritual window, a channel of energy. If that energy feels lifeless, harsh, or misaligned, it may be affecting the atmosphere of your home more than you realize. So what should you do? First, observe. Walk slowly through your space. Notice how you feel when you look at certain objects. Does anything create discomfort, a heaviness, a subtle resistance? If yes, consider relocating the figure to a storage area or a less prominent spot, not out of fear, but out of respect for energy harmony. If the figure holds sentimental or artistic value, you can balance its energy. Place it near positive, life-affirming objects, like potted plants, crystals, soft textiles, or a small wind chime. These elements help absorb any dense or unsettling energy. And most importantly, be mindful of placement. Let figures with watchful eyes occupy public or decorative areas, not your inner sanctuaries of rest and healing. Your home should feel like a gentle embrace, not a silent watchtower. Number 9. Indoor opened umbrellas blocking protective energy. You may have heard the old saying, never open an umbrella indoors. For many, this is dismissed as mere superstition, but beneath the surface, lies a profound energetic truth. In ancient cultures, especially in Egypt, umbrellas symbolize divine protection. They shielded royalty from harsh sun and outside forces. To open an umbrella indoors, under the roof of natural ancestral protection, was seen as distrust, an act of separation from the blessings already present. Energetically, umbrellas represent shielding, deflection, and division. When opened indoors, they create symbolic barriers, blocking the natural flow of fortune, harmony, and new opportunities. Their pointed edges also mimic the disruptive energy of angular objects, sending sharp lines into peaceful spaces. If placed near entrances, living rooms, or meditation areas, they may disturb the gentle current of abundance that flows into your home. But of course, sometimes umbrellas must dry. The solution is simple. Dry them on balconies or quietly drain them your positive energy, terraces, or near open windows, where sunlight and air can cleanse and restore balance. Never leave an open umbrella lingering indoors. And if you've accidentally left one open, don't panic. Clear the energy gently. Open windows, allow fresh air to circulate. Light natural incense, like sandalwood or lavender. Diffuse essential oils, citrus, rosemary, or peppermint, to refresh the space and dissolve energetic heaviness. Enhance your entrance further. Place a small wind chime or healthy plant near your front door. These attract and maintain positive, flowing energy. Remember, your home already protects you. Trust in its shelter, honor its energy, and let nothing stand between you and the blessings ready to enter. Number 10. Accumulated dry leaves. Decaying energy deposits. You've seen them, scattered across the ground after a storm, gathered in corners after the wind. Dry leaves, nature's reminder of what has ended. At first glance, they seem harmless, natural, even beautiful in their own way. But when they gather, when they sit untouched for days, weeks, or longer, they become more than forgotten debris. In ancient energy practices, green leaves symbolize life, growth, and vitality. But once fallen and dry, they represent decay, the end of a cycle. When these remnants accumulate near your entrance, along pathways, or against walls, they begin to block the flow of positive energy into your home. They create stagnation. They signal that what once flourished has not been cleared away, leaving no room for what is new to enter. Beyond symbolism, dry leaves collect dust, harbor insects, and can foster mold. Their physical presence affects air quality, mental clarity, and the freshness of your living environment. The solution is a practice of mindfulness. Clear them regularly, not in haste, not as a chore, but as a ritual, an act of releasing the past and preparing the ground for renewal. Inspect hidden corners, sweep pathways, create space for clean air and unblocked movement, especially near your entrance, the sacred gateway through which abundance enters. Let your doorway always remain open, inviting, and clear. Beyond this, revitalize outdoor spaces with living plants, symbols of ongoing growth and life. The energy you cultivate in your surroundings will always reflect back into your life. Final reflection: your home is your mirror. As we close this journey, pause for a moment, take a breath, let these teachings sink gently into your awareness. Perhaps now you see, it is not always the grand gestures that shape your fortune. Sometimes it is the small, overlooked details: a leak, a clock, a forgotten cobweb, or a withering plant that quietly hold the power to shift everything. The ancient wisdom we have explored today is not about superstition. It is about middenfolsens, respect, harmony. It is the art of aligning your space with the life you desire. Your home is not just where you live, it is where your energy rests, where your dreams incubate, where your future begins. Maintain it, honor it, listen to what it reveals, because as you care for your home, you care for yourself. As you clear away stagnation, you invite flow. As you release what no longer serves, you create space for blessings yet to come.